Sukarno, the charismatic leader who once stood tall as the first president of Indonesia, his voice echoing the chants of independence, his actions shaping the destiny of a nation. Yet his reign saw both triumphant highs and tumultuous lows. This is the story of that man, Sukarno, the architect of modern Indonesia. Born Koisno Sos Rodiharjo in the early 20th century, Sukarno's life was marked by struggle from a young age. His fight wasn't solely his, but that of an entire nation yearning for freedom. The Dutch colonizers had a firm grip on Indonesia, but Sukarno, undeterred, emerged as a beacon of hope for his fellow countrymen. His journey wasn't easy, though. In his quest for freedom, Sukarno spent over a decade in Dutch detention. But as the saying goes, you can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution. Sukarno's spirit remained unbroken. World War II brought with it new challenges and opportunities. The Japanese invasion saw Sukarno making a pragmatic choice. He collaborated with the invaders not out of allegiance but in a strategic move to gain support for the nationalist movement. His gamble paid off when he declared Indonesian independence in 1945, marking the dawn of a new era. However, the struggle was far from over. Sukarno led the resistance against Dutch recolonization efforts, proving his mettle not just as a revolutionary, but also as a leader. He established an autocratic system called guided democracy in 1959 to stabilize the fledgling nation. Throughout the early 1960s, Sukarno pursued aggressive foreign policies and championed the non-aligned movement, positioning Indonesia as a significant player on the global stage. Yet, every reign has its sunset. The 30th of September movement in 1965 saw General Suharto seize control in a military overthrow of Sukarno's government. This led to the oppression and execution of leftists, resulting in a significant number of deaths. Suharto officially assumed the presidency in 1967, replacing Sukarno, who remained under house arrest until his death in 1970. Sukarno's legacy, however, lived on. His daughter Megawati Soekarnoputri went on to become the fifth president of Indonesia, bearing testament to his enduring influence. To summarize, Sukarno's life was a tapestry of triumphs, trials, and tribulations. From his early life marked by struggle, his ascent to presidency, to his eventual downfall, Sukarno's story is a testament to his unyielding spirit and unwavering dedication to his nation. His legacy, though marred by controversy, remains significant in shaping the course of Indonesian history. He was, after all, the architect of modern Indonesia, a man who dared to dream and had the courage to turn those dreams into reality.
In the early 20th century, as the winds of change began to stir across the world, a new era was dawning in the Dutch East Indies, modern-day Indonesia. At this time, the seeds of nationalism were sown in the heart of a young man named Sukarno. Born on June 6, 1901, in Surabaya, Sukarno's life was said to be anything but ordinary. Sukarno's early years were steeped in education. His father, a middle-class Javanese schoolteacher, instilled in him the importance of knowledge and intellectual pursuit. Sukarno's love for his homeland was nurtured from a young age, and by the time he reached adolescence, he had developed a deep sense of nationalism. In 1921, Sukarno enrolled at the Teknische Hogeschool in Bandung, where he studied civil engineering. It was here that his political consciousness truly awakened. Sukarno became increasingly involved in the nationalist movement, joining and eventually leading the Algemene Studi Club, an organization dedicated to Indonesian independence. As Sukarno's influence grew, so did his reputation. His powerful oratory skills and charismatic persona made him a popular figure among the masses. But this popularity did not sit well with the Dutch colonial authorities. In 1929, they arrested Sukarno on charges of sedition, marking the beginning of his political persecution. Despite numerous imprisonments, Sukarno remained undeterred in his fight for Indonesian independence. His relentless spirit only fueled his resolve. In 1945, in the aftermath of World War II, Sukarno's dream became a reality. On August 17th, he proclaimed Indonesia's independence from Dutch colonial rule, marking the birth of a new nation. Sukarno's leadership did not end with the attainment of independence. He served as Indonesia's first president from 1945 to 1967, during which time he introduced the concept of guided democracy. This political system aimed at achieving harmony among the diverse ethnic and religious groups in Indonesia. However, his presidency also witnessed political instability, economic hardships, and international tensions. Sukarno's presidency ended in 1967 when he was replaced by his deputy, Suharto, following a period of political turmoil. Sukarno spent the last years of his life under house arrest, passing away on June 21, 1970. Sukarno's legacy is a complex and multifaceted one. As the father of the nation, his role in securing Indonesia's independence is undeniable. His powerful speeches and charismatic leadership style continue to inspire many, even today. However, his presidency was also marred by controversy and criticism, with some accusing him of authoritarian tendencies and economic mismanagement. Despite these criticisms, Sukarno's influence on Indonesia is immeasurable. His vision for a united and independent Indonesia was realized, and his ideals of nationalism, unity, and democracy continue to shape the country's political landscape. Sukarno's life serves as a testament to the power of determination and conviction. His journey, from a young student to the leader of a nation, reminds us that change is possible, even in the face of adversity. And while his legacy may be a subject of debate, his impact on Indonesia and its people is beyond question. The story of Sukarno is the story of Indonesia, a tale of struggle, resilience.
Ever wondered how the Southeast Asian archipelago nation Indonesia burst forth from the shackles of colonial rule to proclaim its independence? The tale of the proclamation of Indonesian independence is a riveting saga of courage, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a people yearning for freedom. The journey towards independence begins in the early 20th century. Indonesian nationalists, brimming with fervor for freedom, voiced their aspirations through various political platforms. The Dutch colonial rulers, in an attempt to pacify these rising tides of nationalism, established a partly elected People's Council in 1918. This move, however, was far from satisfying the nationalists' desire for complete autonomy. Prominent nationalist leaders Sukarno and Muhammad Hatta spearheaded the fight for independence. Yet their road was fraught with obstacles. Arrests and exiles were common, leading to the unfortunate dissolution of some political parties. In 1935, the moderate nationalist organizations joined hands to form the Great Indonesia Party with the aim of negotiating independence with the Dutch. Their efforts, however, were met with rejection in 1938 when the Dutch turned down a petition for self-government. World War II brought about a significant shift in the political landscape of the Dutch East Indies, now known as Indonesia. The Japanese invasion led to the banning of Dutch language and symbols, and the establishment of political organizations led by pre-war nationalists, including Sukarno and Hatta. As the war tide turned against Japan, they began involving Indonesians in governance, perhaps in a desperate bid to retain control. In 1943, the Putera organization was formed, but it achieved little. A year later, the Java Service Association was established, with Sukarno and Hatta holding key positions. The Japanese also formed the Defenders of the Homeland Volunteer Army and the Council of Indonesian Muslim Associations. Then dawned the day of August 17, 1945. The proclamation of Indonesian independence was read out in Jakarta, marking the beginning of the Indonesian national revolution against Dutch forces. Sukarno and Hatta, the stalwart leaders of the nationalist movement, signed the proclamation, assuming the roles of president and vice president, respectively. Today, this date is commemorated as a public holiday, a poignant reminder of the nation's struggle for freedom. To summarize, the proclamation of Indonesian independence was the culmination of years of relentless struggle by Indonesian nationalists. Their journey was marked by various political endeavors, resistance against colonial forces, and the strategic navigation of a tumultuous World War II scenario. The key figures in this monumental event were Sukarno and Hatta, who, despite facing numerous challenges, never wavered from their path towards independence. The proclamation of Indonesian independence is not just a historical event, it is a testament to the spirit of a nation that refused to be subjugated, a nation that fought tooth and nail for the right to self-governance, a nation that, in the face of adversity, rose to proclaim its sovereignty. It is a story of hope, courage, and the unfaltering belief in the power